picks and bans.
Nice. Freak would be proud. Going up against Mega Zero, I always expect a Renekton ban, usually followed up by an Aurelia ban. Against Nick Wu, there's the Zed. Oh, this is getting so easy. Just week after week, we're getting into this. Oh my goodness.
I don't get it. It's like we understand now.
Loudamortis
So the
usually
AoE
draws the
composition
Amumu
getting
ban.
crushed out. I expect to see Loudamortis on his Cho'Gath this game. We'll have to see what Clicky D can bring out. He's more of the tricky junglers. We haven't seen a lot of Vi, but Jarvan's going to be on the plate here.
Yeah, definitely. And Chowster has been returning to that Jarvan over and over.
Yep.
So it was mentioned before that he got one of the to his Demacian standard where it doesn't apply armor to the whole team anymore, but on the same patch, he got a buff to his Golden Aegis, which is the shield that you get more shield for every enemy player around you when you use it. And it's actually a 50% increase in effectiveness at max rank. So he is actually pretty tanky. It's not the same thing where he makes the whole team tanky,
right?
But his shield got a really big buff, so he didn't get hit too hard in that late game. He's still a fairly versatile melee champion.
Absolutely. We see MRN with their picks and bans, more the bans so, since that's the one that happened, banning out that Zyro, which kind of takes that away from Probably and MIA. So with the last ban, they choose to kind of hit two in the teeth there.
Yeah.
The Zed and Amumu, obviously Loudamortis.
MIA actually did have a pretty good Zyra that last game. He flashed over the wall in that level 1 to land in another couple kills. Those extra few kills were all because he followed that up with a flash.
Absolutely.
And yeah, I mean, like you said, probably can use that middle. We saw him use it in the Challenger matches before. Cho'Gath.
Yep.
So that's Loudamortis saying, I'm going to stick with my tanky meta. I'm not trying to play into this new Season 3 meta that everyone's talking about, all the bruisers and all the carry junglers.
Right.
His playstyle is the tanky champion. They're not going to pick it up now, maybe. They'll probably save that for later. They don't feel like someone on MRN will take that away. However, I feel like Mega Zero... Mega would definitely play a Cho'Gath. He's a big fan of lane Cho'Gath.
We haven't seen Echo on really anything but AP mids, so I don't know if he'll take the caster, but you're right. That is a possible switch up for them. But I like complexity's thinking in that, you know, will you take Cho'Gath? We'll pick our AD and support. Once again, third game in a row this has happened. Yeah. If they do take Cho'Gath, then Loudamortis will play another CC heavy tanky champion. Oh, really? Yeah, really. Blitzcrank being hovered over for a very long time here. It'll be interesting because Heartbeat's pretty new to the support role as a whole. We saw him play a really outstanding Janna last week. Props to him for that. It looks like they're going to switch it over and go to Afromu's favorite support, the Lulu. But a Mega Malphite, it looks like, unless that's going to be heading into the jungle or Malphite mid, all the crazy things possibly, man. It's been a long time. It has. You got to keep your mind open to all the options. These teams are innovative. Come on. But yeah, the Malphite top is pretty likely. The Quinn pick would be very interesting coming from compLexity because Mandatory Cloud tried to use that when Vulcan did their Kennen plus Quinn strategy that they saw from the Chinese. The Chinese used it very effectively, using her ultimate to roam. Not quite as effective for Vulcan. They did pick off a few good kills with that Quinn, so... Nice hover here, but I feel like they're not going to lock that in. Well, they're definitely not going to play it against a Ryze, according to Nijackie. Yeah. Not the matchup that you want to put into that. And yeah, like they said, they're like, you really think, if we really think they're going to pick Cho'Gath, and let them have it. But they didn't. They pull it back into the lineup. They also have a Jarvan, though. So that will be Loudamortis taking Cho'Gath. Pretty good pick for him right there. Now, probably plays a mean Jarvan mid. We could see another heavy AD burst mid. Probably would be bringing it back here. We haven't seen a Jarvan mid in a while, but that's definitely something that he had a lot of fun with back in the day, back in the armor penetration days when everyone was going crazy with black cleavers and stuff. Wow. So what are they going to pull into here? They themselves banned out Renekton, which kind of adds to, not a huge shred comp, but, you know, what probably would bring to the middle or whatever they could kind of, you know, initiate with here, which they kind of only have catches on. They don't have a full initiator. They have to rate on the Rupture or the Death Sentence, which I think, unless they have the Amumu, is kind of something they put themselves against the wall with a lot, is not having an initiator truly into the fight.
Not having Initiator has been really, really bad for a lot of the top teams. Especially like TSM, when they were forced to use Reggie as Diana to go in and then Zanya's.
Right.
Really did not work out for them. They had no hard Initiate. So Marn's team comp is so interesting to me because they secured that Initiate with the Malphite, and they followed it up with an Eve. Eve and Kha'Zix are very snowbally assassin champions. If they're able to just burst someone down, they can get the reset, and it's going to be interesting to see where each of those champions goes, because Eve can go in the jungle or in the mid lane. Malphite can go in the jungle, in the mid lane, or the top, and Kha'Zix, all three of those as well. So they could switch these up. Right now they're holding on to him, though, and the hover over Rumble would be interesting because Nick Wu has had a very, very strong Rumble. We just mentioned it before we went into Champion Select about how he bullied his top lane with Rumble. He gets it again, and he should also be able to make use of that really long-range ultimate when he goes to his roaming phase. He usually just bullies his lane and immediately goes to roam and help his team, and it's a very good champion for that.
Also good that Equalizer disengage if they need it. They're going to be diving in, Unstoppable Force, ComEntary on Kha'Zix, as well as Echo trying to find his way around. And it's going to be interesting to see how he plays, you know, really, really assassin-y type champion. He's brought out some Ahri, he's brought out some Anivia, and he's more passive in that early part of the game. So I have to see where he puts himself once he possibly wins that mid lane, or is he going to have a hard time against Probably?
Yeah, we've seen a lot of the Korean and Europeans still using Eve mid.
Okay.
North American has kind of fallen off because of the mana nerf that she received.
We were talking about farming.
And she likes to use her Q for farming a lot. Most of the Koreans in the EU, they've solved that problem by getting an early tier. They like to just rush that tier of the goddess, and it stacks up really quickly on her since you are spamming your Q over and over. They do pull a last-minute switch here. It's going to be Eve in the jungle, Echo with Kha'Zix middle, and Mega Zero taking the Malphite top. So they did try and use the flexibility of those champions at the last second to throw compLexity off, and they pulled a last-minute switch here. We're going to have a jungle Evelynn from ComEntary. We could see a resurgence of these hyper-aggressive ComEntary jungle style that we saw at the very beginning of the LCS.
It would be interesting to see if they have any tricks up their sleeve with a quick level 1 or 2. It's not something we've seen a bit, but these teams are really pulling out some stops with swaps, roster changes, and the champions they're playing this week.
Yeah, the level 1, you have to keep your eyes open level 1 today especially because there's been so much action going on. Let's see how many elixirs we can get. 1, 2, 3 coming out for compLexity. Very quick buys for them right there. A lot of Morris actually had to go back, grab an extra potion. So they're spreading out. It looks like it'll be more of a defensive formation for both teams, though.
So I was going to say, actually, you say that, I'm still going to ask, is somebody like Eve someone you want to just mana star right in the beginning? Like you said, that mana cost went up. Would it be advantageous for them to go in on this? They have the Rupture, they have a Death Sentence.
Invading on the blue? Invading on the blue, if it was successful, would be really, really good for them. But look at Martin's team. What are they going to lock someone down with if they do an invade? Level 1, they've got Glitter Lance. That's pretty much it, and that's just a slow. So it would actually be fairly dangerous for them to do a level 1 because MIA on that Thresh would be devastating. If he lands a Death Sentence and you have the whole team of compLexity there, it would be just really bad news for Marn. So yes, they would love to take that blow away from Evelynn, but it would be super hard for them to do it. And a good flag right there. We do see Probly on that AD Jarvan middle, so this will be very fun to watch, and we'll have to see if the members of Team Marn are ready for the burst damage of an AD middle Jarvan, because that can be really, really surprising if you haven't played against it in a while. And people just having the feel and being able to judge the damage output of what your champion's going to do plays a huge part. Probably, again, he's using that that aspect of people haven't played against it in a while to his advantage.
And this is really what we were looking for. I was going to say, it's interesting that compLexity is not invading. Louder Mortis playing such blue-heavy junglers knows how important it is to keep this safe. When he's on a Mumu, the team completely puts down a security grid of wards, and they're able to get in. This is what I was talking about. Thwarting ComEntary off of that blue unless they can go ahead and just swap these out.
They did bait this though. Look at this defensive ward, and they kept their AD and support back, so they were expecting every single step of this, and they're going to try and contest both blues.
Oh, they did get ComEntary right under the armor. The golem, the blue buff could go back over. It's going to actually go to MIA in the beginning, and that's going to add so much harass to the bottom lane.
Perfect bait. There's the red elixir we were talking about, so popular with the Koreans. MIA was watching that, and they set this up so perfectly. Hey, we're going to invade your blue. We put an early ward down on our blue. We knew this was going to happen. We left our support and our AD back there. Huge win for compLexity, pulling out the blue steal on both sides. Loudamortis with his own, or with the enemy's blue as well, so they benefit, and probably able to shove his lane as well.
It probably definitely soaked up some experience. I wasn't seeing if he went straight mid or soaked up some of that from Cho'Gath, Loudamortis, but he is level 2 and was already harassing out Echo, actually going for a roam into the jungle already. Damage in the bottom lane is MIA. They are looking to pressure that blue buff and really make it useless for him. Brunch getting very low. Neontanzo putting himself into the fight. He gets taken down. A kill coming in for Brunch. A level 2 gank from Prowly in mid.
From the middle, Jarvan roams down. This double red elixir lane that Brunch and MIA are running is so aggressive that they just got 2 kills, first blood and the second blood going to them. Neontanzo getting a little bit over aggressive there. It pays for it with his life.
Loudamortis holding off on that mid, and Prowly and Loudamortis, like we said, that play together relationship before from Legion, from other teams, and they are covering each other perfectly on this. CoMenTary being taken very low, and you can see how much he is struggling with this jungle. He actually has quite a bit of damage to go on the red, and he's going to be backed off.
Oh, that is just the worst feeling as a jungler. Can't quite finish it off.
Man.
His smite down. Now he's going to have to recall, only being level 2. He's really far behind. That's a jungler that you don't want to get behind on. That's reminiscent of the days when people were jungling Alistar. If you got someone like that behind with an unsuccessful gank, it would spell just...
Everybody's level 10, you're like level 5 by that mid part of the game. That used to be torture, and it could happen right now to CoMenTary. Like you said, level 2. Just hit level 4 in the top and solo lane, so he's going to have to get himself back into the game, and that really creates less pressure on the lanes as well if they know CoMenTary's so far behind, so he almost can't show that level to the other team right now.
CoMenTary had to call Heartbeat in to come and help him jungle. He can't jungle by himself. He needs Lulu to come save him, and Prowly will not hesitate to come invade the jungle either if he does get an advantage on Echo here.
Oh, he pops him up during the jump. He forces the flash. The red buff tick is going to be on. If that rupture hit, it would have been a lot more damage. Good pressure in mid.
So Prowly immediately turns around after they burn the flash. He's like, good job. That's a win for us.
Yeah.
We got a free flash. Loudamortis sticking around the middle, though, taking his lane tax and shoving it as well.
So already about 1,000 gold lead, 1.3k in favor of compLexity here with those 2 kills at 5 minutes. The lane's quite even on CS. Nick Wu seems to be having a bit better time as junglers and mids kind of go tit for tat here.
So Neontanzo doing a good job CSing still. Even though that double AD lane going aggressive once again.
Oh, that was great. He condemned him off the Lantern, but he still found it. He got back onto the Lantern. Neontanzo really playing mechanically well. The Brunch positioning better to put himself in that fight. And they're kind of just going hit for hit here, back and forth. Neontanzo knows. Oh, maybe he doesn't. Now he does.
I was just saying Neontanzo was doing a good job still CSing in that double fort pot lane, but they get another kill, not letting up on the aggression. Looks like Loudamortis just lanes taxing lane after lane. He just got a couple waves mid, now he gets a couple bottom, return to the jungle, and that's going to be beautiful for him. The fort pot on Brunch U just runs out as well, so that extra 500 gold that they spent for those early kills now is going to be gone.
And this is going to be super strong for compLexity. Sometimes they, would do good in the early game and have some good jungle ganks, but the lanes would be a little bit lacking. If your jungler's getting tax farm and kills and getting into the game, which Loudamortis hasn't gotten a kill yet, but they are getting good tax farm, and your lanes win, that's significant.
Some people giving MIA a little flack for missing that backwards flay. I have to say, that is one of the hardest skills in the game to land. I talked to Patoy, who everyone's talking about is one of the best, if not the best, support in North America. He says he barely ever lands that skill. It really is a little bit difficult. You have to aim it, but backwards, so you have to compensate. It's pretty interesting. Definitely go out and practice that if you want to impress all the ladies.
Oh, is that how you do it?
Uh-huh.
Oh man, I've been doing it all wrong. I was growing a beard. A lot more to shave tips, so I'm gonna have to follow suit. Looks like we got 45-36 as the CS takes a bit of a roll here. 43-32 in the mid lane. The 46-37 was that top lane. So like we said, if compLexity can go ahead, continue to win these lanes, that fight phase is going to be super strong.
Yep, Mega Zero just using his teleport to go back to lane though, so they aren't going to have that global threat as we see Nick Wu using his ultimate just to shove the lane. Mega Zero's got his ultimate available. It would be nice to get a gank off, but since he doesn't have his teleport, he can't contest this dragon.
compLexity, yeah, that's their name. compLexity once again jotting down in their early game diary, first dragon goes to us, and they have really put a stamp on that so far. 7 minutes, and previously before 6 minutes, they were able to take these dragons out. So again, the gold lead now about 3,000 in favor of compLexity, as they are not showing any signs of stopping here.
The early game just really, really well played from compLexity so far. 3 kills and the free dragon. Now they're just shoving down on this bottom turret as well. They're also winning the turret health game.
Looking at the turret health game, yeah, they're kind of not really taking them, but they are prepping them, and that really is what's going to help after that dragon goes down. Even if you're low health, you can still pressure those objectives. Looks like they are being thwarted off quite a bit. The AD carry lanes 55 to 59, and it looks like the Vampire Acceptor build is the choice for both of them, as they kind of need to sustain in lane without that healer.
A huge part of this early game domination by compLexity is that they were able to set that Eve behind so much. Usually you have to worry about that jungle Eve, always has to be in the back of your mind, and everyone has to buy a lot of pink wards. Since they counter jungle him so hard and they got the first blood on him, killing him and setting him back, they haven't had to worry about him. Now he's level 6 trying to make a move, but he walks over the one pink ward that he doesn't want to.
Yep, goes for the lane gank. He knows that River has to have so many in it with compLexity doing well. Oh, he gets grabbed out there. They just go for some harass. You can see Brunch was like, I don't even want to shoot. Nice grab. Let's just keep harassing.
Just letting him know, yes, we have a pink ward in there. Don't come back. Echo now.
Oh my gosh, Echo getting caught up in mid. He's definitely not getting any help from the jungle. Great use of the invisibility.
Yeah, good job. He went backwards. Probably wasn't expecting it, but he goes in anyway.
Oh my gosh, probably going so hard. The Ignite's off. He gets out clean.
I told you people don't expect the AD burst from the Jarvan middle because they haven't seen it in a while. He's got that red pot, do 2 Doran's blades. Perfect. I'm going to go tower diving.
That cannot be the case. Like, I haven't seen it in a while. It's such an amazing aspect to see that these players have a hard time adapting to after everything else, Kobe.
They have the same problems that you have.
Same problems that everybody has. They are human and they can falter. Right now, compLexity is kind of showing no falter at 4-0, 3,500 gold in the lead here at 10 minutes. A turret to be going in their favor if Prolly continues this pressure on mid lane. Just see that Klakey can really just tickle him out of the lane.
Not only was he able to kill Kha'Zix, but he's beating Echo just so badly in CS right now. His Jarvan is really dominating that lane completely. There's no saving grace for Echo right now.
Where are they set to go after this? We have Klakey roaming. Like we said, he can barely show himself in these fights being so squishy. They know he's down. He actually went for a Doran's ring within his belt to continue a bit of damage as well as keep his mana up. That mana starvation in the early part of the game, like we said, has been detrimental to their strategy altogether.
So since compLexity were alerted to the level 6 Evelynn, they've put down a lot more pink wards. We see them in the middle here and at top lane. They've been keeping up their vision. All you have to do when you're playing against Evelynn is switch over. Instead of buying green wards, now you have to buy pink ones.
That's true. Costs a little bit more, but some of the supports have actually just been buying pink wards anyways, right?
Yeah, and you can see Loudamortis doing his part. They spread out that burden over the whole team. I really like that. Loudamortis buys some, Nick Wu bought one, Prolly's buying some too, so everybody is chipping in for the pink ward purchases.
And really a huge spike of damage in almost every lane coming out, the revolver being finished by Nick Wu, and we go down to the BF swords in both the hands of Prolly and Brunchu.
Returning again. Echo now has to be a little fearful for his life after being burst down like that, because Prolly went back and just bought up straight up BF sword. That is huge on him. He doesn't go with the boots, and then we see Nick Wu in trouble.
Nick Wu just overheated, and it was not with Flame Spitter going. He is in a bad situation right quick, and Klakey gets himself back into the game just a little bit.
One of the best parts of Malphite, he's amazing at setting up lane ganks. They finally get the Evelynn up there, just comes through the lane, doesn't have to worry about pink wards. They set it up perfectly with the Unstoppable Force, and Nick Wu, realizing he's dead, doesn't burn his flash. So at least he still has his cooldown.
Looks like Mega Zero now farming behind the turret. more than happy to do so. Nick Wu, or Lauda rather, I should say, coming up here. Looks like he's going to try to put on a little bit of pressure and not let Mega out. That's safe.
Mega able to pick up an early Chalice is actually a really, really good purchase on Malphite because he loves spamming his spells to CS, and it's just a lot of magic resistance against Rumble early, which is really amazing. It's going to counter those Sork boots that Nick Wu decided to purchase.
That bottom turret getting prepped quite low here. Don't see Dragon just up yet. A good dodge out there by Echo, but like you said, that burst, there's just the Q and that flag toss. We almost have 75% health Echo on Kha'Zix right now. We're gonna see this blue go over to ComEntary. Most likely he is going to soak that sucker up. Maybe they'll give it to Echo if they want to try to get some ganks going down, but I think they need to get ComEntary back into this game for the purpose he's trying to play.
Yeah, so he went up top, he was successful. Right now, ComEntary's got double buffs. He doesn't have his ultimate up, but he should really try. Up, there goes the red. Now he only has blue. Tough break. Pretty soon here, Pause is about to come back off. We'll see if he can continue to dominate his lane.
And we see some movement as everybody continues doing what they were before. We have seen Nick Wu come down from the top, so they may be prepping to pressure out here. Dragon to be coming up within the next few minutes, as we did see that 7-minute Dragon go down. We'll have to see what they choose to do.
So, we talked about how well compLexity did early game. They need to continue to control these objectives like Dragon. You can see Lauda really wants it. He's sitting around there. They have it pre-pinked, so they're ready to go when it pops. They already called down Nick Wu, so they want to trade this. They're fine with trading turret damage for the Dragon, and they have to keep up that pressure because they have, MRN has Untitled. He's still CSing really well despite that super aggressive lane down bottom.
Absolutely. As we look at that 132 to 113, those 80 carries actually separated by the kills. 5,000 to 4,300. That 5,000 in favor of Brunch as we see our first turret go down, and Probably not liking that at all, giving Mega Zero a little bit of his word. He's going to be unstoppable for us out of that. So ulti for an ulti and the summoner.
You can see how much damage Probably still does to Malphite though, because Malphite's been building magic resist. He got a Chalice of Harmony because he's been laning against Rumble. As the bottom turret does go down, so they're able to answer it, and now Probably shoving this top one too. He wants to get some damage back, but ComEntary's there to try and fend him off.
This is still could be a scary fight team coming from MRN here. Once Mega Zero and Echo get ready to jump into the fight, you know, compLexity did have a good laning phase, but can they bring it to the fight phase? Both of these teams love to duke it out. We know Mega Zero is a fighter. We know Nick Wu is a fighter, and these guys haven't even got to their favorite part of the game yet.
Yeah, exactly. Untitled is still a factor. He's got 143 CS, stacking up his Bloodthirster now. That early completion of a Bloodthirster means that he'll have a power spike in the next minute or so. As soon as that thing is fully stacked up, even though he doesn't have boots, he'll be fine to have a team fight. He can tumble around, continue lifestealing. compLexity don't want to give him that opportunity though. They take another turret down middle, and they set their sights on top.
Along with that power spike, they did get a tower spike. They take it down, and it is going to be Bloodthirster for both. We actually see this for Brunchu and Untitled on
There's
that
another
build.
one too.
Yeah, all of them. Looks like Untitled is actually going to be backing. He's got the red elixir for any engagements that come up on him. We see regular supports going for the Philo Stones as everybody really just soaking up the jungle experience right now. A push into the top lane as, you know, Brunchu trying to get some more global gold for his team. compLexity doing a great job of wiping out these turrets in the first line.
Anytime you have Caitlyn, tower pressure is a given. So they want to get the last of the outer turrets down and then put themselves into position for the next dragon. Like I said, Lauda loves those things. You know he's got that timer down pat in the next 3 minutes or so. He'll want to head back down there. They've got it pinked already, and they're going to keep it pinked. They would really love to finish off the top outer turret first, though.
It would be nice. It's kind of just a thing. 16 minutes in, the pressure onto Mega Zero, but waiting in the wing is going to be ComEntary if he's going to come up here on the outside. I think they'll just see him before he gets out, plus the range of Thresh and Caitlyn. They're pretty much safe here, but they are getting focused now from Lauda. They think there's been too much time with nothing happening. Mega Zero may be playing a little too safe in telegraphing this.
Yeah, you do have to watch out for that Unstoppable Force plus Evelynn combo that we saw used really effectively on Nick Wu. It could just as easily have the same outcome on Brunch and MIA. Good thing they're sending Lauda here though, because he's a great counter initiator. Cho'Gath has the Rupture, he also has the AoE Silence, and they are able to take the top turret down.
They're sending just about everything, and probably actually changing up his pathing there, not feeling completely safe. Unstoppable Force right to the back line, and that's exactly exactly what I said compLexity has to be wary of. They don't have the Nick Wu ult to stop that, but it wouldn't have helped. Can they keep turning it around? You got to deal with Loudamortis and Prowly now, and they are two huge rocks in your face. Yeah, Mega Zero, I'm talking to you. Getting the Lulu ultimate. Looks like he's going to try to get out of this one, and Mega Malphite may just go down. They get a great exhaust there. Heartbeat actually putting out some damage with the Glitter Lance as well. They're able to thwart the final attacks and get out alive. 2-2 on the overall fight.
You saw the power of the AoE combo right there. Unstoppable Force plus Agony's Embrace just destroyed Brunch, completely obliterating him. They're able to trade it 2 for 2 though, because they had Prowly and Loudamortis there to back him up.
Absolutely explosive, but the hope comes when we see, Loudamortis and Prowly living through that fight. Mega Zero and Echo completely obliterated Brunchu and MIA, and they'll be looking to do it consistently. Looks like we have the Spirit of the Spectral Wraith coming out for Evelynn, as well as just the Spirit Stone. Probably going to be held out until we get that Aegis finished into the Bulwark as well for Loudamortis.
And we have Niantanso just continuing to farm. This is exactly what he needs to do. When your team is behind like that and you're on Vayne, you just have to keep on farming, stack up your Bloodthirster, and wait for the team fight that is going to be your opportunity to finish off people and really hunt them down, make use of our passive. You don't want to get in there very early. You want to be on the outskirts, being like double lift, using that tumble to dodge all the skill shots and continuously get your auto attacks off.
Absolutely, and it really makes that Bloodthirster pivotal on Vayne because of the fact that she can condemn, and kite, and roll, and kite. And we, like you said, double lift, and we'll have to see if Niantanso can do it. It's really not a style of play we've seen him been on yet. Usually it's that Caitlyn or something else on the outside, continuously bursting in on the fight with constant shots. 19 minutes in, both teams kind of poise themselves in mid for a fight. 6-3 here, 3-1 turrets in favor of compLexity. Like you said, they dropped the top turret before they really wanted to pressure onto the mid again. But Niantanso is going to be off, so this may be a 5v4, and Marn has to play safe.
Yeah, that dragon fight I was talking about coming up in 30 seconds here. What Marn are going to try and do is the exact same AoE burst where they have Mega Zero and Klakey try and land their combo onto Brunch and whoever's standing next to the Brunch, and they want to get Echo the reset with that kill. It's their hope. What compLexity need to do to answer that is have Loudamortis silence Echo. If they're able to lock down Echo with silence and rupture and some AoE damage, then that will be the perfect counterplay that compLexity needs to pull off so that Echo's just not flying around the entire team fight, sending off all of his void spikes and his single target damage.
We see Mega Zero being quite harassy up top, that Chalice to keep him really safe in any situation just like this. He's going to be able to dodge some harpoons out and really steal his movement speed back and continuously throw out spells. So we'll see if he can really give Nick Wu trouble. Like we said, Nick Wu's been the focus, but probably also needs to be a focus. So we'll see how much they put in each section.
It'll be interesting if they actually do send Nick up top, because Nick has nothing to interrupt Mega Zero's teleport with. Right now, Marn could easily force a 4 vs 5.
Well, looks like they may want it. That dragon is live. We are not objective free on the map, and I think you can just see it in the players right now that they are kind of positioning for this. The bottom lane is being pushed, so it's up against the turret. They've drawn Brunch down as well, so the AD carries are ready for this fight, and you can see everybody's gathering just above dragon.
Marn's still a little bit wary. Echo gets a get shot.
Oh my gosh, you have to remember, if you walk over a ward, the last one is the most likely to get caught. Klakey, the death sentence going in. Ace in the hole, stopped by Heartbeat. He catches that one for his teammate, and really not too much damage traded in and out. There's some half health bars, but they look confident still.
There's a good job at compLexity right there. They traded for the teleport from Mega Zero. They got that out. They did a lot of burst damage, scared Marn enough that they had to burn that teleport, and they bought Nick Wu time to shove the lane and come down.
Oh, the death sentence misses. There's a lot of Mortis. Will he get a good silence off? 3 of them are silenced, as it's going to be Mega Zero diving in, unstoppable force to Loudamortis. They shut that down, and Marn has great positioning here, but Brunch has been left to fire away. He's got Nick Wu and MIA to peel right around him. Niantanso dives back into the fight. Echo from the backside finally to come in, and they just pinch down onto compLexity, finding a double kill here for Niantanso. A triple kill for Niantanso, getting swiped up. He will not be able to get the quadrupenta.
That was close. Niantanso had to go very deep into compLexity's team to finish off Prowly, but then they were able to pull him back out. Echo making a very nice play, jumping in, putting his life on the line to get those void spikes out, and he actually got away with the reset jump. Nick Wu trying to flash and finish him off with the harpoon, but just barely missed it. That's going to mean a dragon for MRN and the turnaround they were looking for.
MRN going to be able to pick this up. We'll see where the gold goes, and they have closed it a little bit more, only sitting back 3,500. This is actually allowing them to complete a lot of items that make those fights a little more favorable for them as well. We do see that we have pickups on Kha'Zix, getting out some damage for themselves. Going over Spirit of the Spectral Wraith is really the only thing. It was more Giant's Belt built in this fight, noticing that they went down really fast, some of the bursts.
Yeah, I like how Niantanso just kept his wits about him, even though the team was losing early, even though his lane was under a lot of pressure with those double Fortitude elixirs. He kept on farming, and then he waited for the team fight where it was his chance to make those plays. And he picked off the people, he hunted them down, got the kills. Now he's got a nice lead to get him back in this. He's the highest CS in the entire game, and now he's got 3 kills on top of that.
We're 22 minutes into this one as MRN gets themselves back, and a few resets here as they finish the Bloodthirsters as well. Kind of mirrored on both sides for that AD carry in mid. And we see Niantanso actually going for the static, putting that split push combo into his kit now. We're going to go ahead and give the rabbit over to Prolly. I like Prolly. He's really building to be in the face of everyone. He got the Ninja Tabi. He's got the Brutalizer to really stack onto that Q as well, shredding the armor. And like you said, people are underestimating his damage.
The thing about MRN's team right now also... Oh, here we go. Prolly's going in for Mega Zero.
Where's the harpoon? One more. We'll probably finally get that. There's the unstoppable force. They locked in Nick Wu. Oh, he hits one. They throw the ultimate. Does he have the scrap shield to get there? He's actually quite hot, and he did overheat. They may not be able to finish this one off if he has the shard to get the movement speed. It's going to be a Q from Prolly if he can get it, and he does finally take down the rock.
Good job of them by not giving up on that. It was a good chase. That also reminded me that this is the patch where we have the change to Rumble's ultimate, where the damage is spread out over time. So it's more important than ever for you to get out of that Rumble ultimate. It doesn't do as much burst damage, but the ticks over time compensate for it. So you have to get out of that as fast as possible. If you're a single person running for your life, though, Mega Zero really had no choices right there. Does get caught out and go down. That's going to cost them a turret. Niantanso always answering, though.
He is always able to answer, and right now he's saying 40 to 50 CS above everybody in the game. It's going to be close, 3-1-0 to the 3-2-3, but he is sitting there with the most gold, and it's Prolly that is right behind him, making moves for complexity.
I like how Prolly is always willing to exchange his Cataclysm for Mega Zero's Unstoppable Force too, because Mega Zero's got an extra 40 seconds on his ultimate. So that's a good trade anytime. They can buy a little window of a slight power play right there. Now they didn't really make too much of use of it. Mega Zero still has another 30 seconds left on it though.
We see more damage finally being able to be brought out. Maybe the Ryla's Crystal Scepter here for Claky D so they can keep the chase in the fight. They're going to have Glitterlands. They're going to build that slow into the Eve kit. They're going to have Mega Zero with his, the shards to slow down as well. So they're really kind of building into a sticky late game team comp that just won't let you get away.
Yeah, Claky's building to be another threat on Team MRN because they have that tanky jungler, or the tanky Rockman top, as Mega Zero is building some Sunfire Cape, spell penetration, very classic Malphite build. Claky D is building very offensively, and that's the only thing they're going to lose out on is that Aegis of the Legion and that Locket of the Iron Solari that usually come from the jungler. So the slight advantage Lattimortis is bringing to his team is all the AoE defensive stats.
We've seen a lot of times in the past few weeks where gold down did not mean you were going to win the fight. We've seen a lot of these teams out-position in that gold factor for the fight. So we'll have to see if MRN can do that here. They definitely are ready to get in. Malphite back up on the ulti. And as they come around the right side, this is going to be just 5-on-5. They're going to see each other coming from this one. Niantanso's still off on the wing, so he's going to enter the fight late. And complexity may not take that into consideration here. They throw some cooldowns back and forth. A toe pull onto Mega Zero, but he still has the Unstoppable Force up. He goes back again to the back line, and Nick Wu actually takes quite a bit of damage. Brunch Yu forced to get that shield, forced to move himself back as well. Where is Niantanso? And it looks like he is going to be able to help his team. Coming in from the right side as they now focus Mega Zero, and they're pushing out MIA and Lattimortis. The Unstoppable Force really split that fight up too much, and they were not able to bring it back into Hope's Kobe.
You do not want to pull Mega Zero. That's the one that you don't want to hook. That was just a little unfortunate for them. They end up trading 2 for 1, able to salvage a little bit out of that team fight, but Prawley really did work getting onto Niantanso, using the Cataclysm, and then flashing out of it to keep him trapped in there. He had to use all of his skills to get away from that Bane, though, because he was ready right on his heels.
Like I said, MRN may be down in gold, but they can still put up these fights. Great engagement there. Like you pointed out, a little bit of a misstep there by MA on that death sentence to start off the matchup. That would have been much better for the AD carry or somebody putting out a whole heck of a lot of damage.
He was aiming for Echo, so that fight would have gone completely different if he had been a little bit to the bottom there and snagged Echo instead. Not too bad for them, as they did come out 2 for 1.
Taking stock of items. That bulwark finish now for Laudamortis. They're going to be able to throw back, not throw back, but stop some of that damage coming in. We really haven't seen a Malphite build so much AP. We'll see Dyrus building, but really go straight tank on that with some AP on the runes or masteries to get some extra damage on that penetration. But really coming out very strong. Another threat factor from Mega Zero. We'll have to see if Heartbeat starts to bring out some AP for himself, which MIA is actually not doing this game, and he chose to go for Lucidity Boots.
Now that Prawley doesn't have his flash available, I have to see if they play the team fight the same way during this Dragon engage. Because last time they had Prawley the only member diving onto Niantanso.
Well, they have to be careful here.
And he had to disengage.
That Smite Feast Cho'Gath is not going to be easy to get by. Probably could get 4 members, and he does right in that. Niantanso able to get out before it goes down, actually. Brunchu is the focus here. The AD carry is shredded completely. Now on to Laudamortis. Can they continue to get these kills? Oh, he misses. Nick Wu uses the Lantern to get away, but they're going to have to split one more time. And Nick Wu still has that turret down bottom. They're all right. Kleki realizes that the turret is there, and they cannot continue to chase because it would be into bad zones.
Yeah, that death sentence would have killed KlayKD right there. If they were able to grab him and hook in, the Oracles on MIA would assure that he couldn't get away. But MRN are heading for Baron off of that. There's only 3 members down. Nick Wu still up, MIA still up. Can they make anything happen here?
MRN has had so much pressure on them this game. They didn't have any help from KlayKD in the early game, which really put a lot of pressure on the lanes, and they've shown great. MIA with a good attempt at trying to steal the Baron, but it goes to the smite of KlayKD, and MRN really turns things around, pretty much evening up the gold at 30 minutes.
Their threats just have such high damage for MRN right now. Niantanso is beastly, and then you have Echo on Kha'Zix. He's built full offense as well. Fully stacked Bloodthirster along with a Brutalizer just means he is shredding through people, and you have to be worried about those resets. At the same time, you're trying to nail down this tumbling Bane while Niantanso is using every skill at his disposal to be that slippery damage dealer.
Absolutely, and Mega Zero's ultimates right now are just spot on. Brunchu not having a chance to even move when it happens. The barrier, the right choice for Brunchu because you're not cleansing the pop-up, but he still cannot make it out. The Haunting Guy's finished and then built into the Glacial Shroud, and he even picked up an Elixir, Mega Zero that is, for the damage because he knows it's such an impactful front-end burst.
It's really been a theme in the LCS for the last couple of weeks where the teams with the better hard engage have been the ones just winning the entire game, not just the team fights.
Right, no, yeah.
Because compLexity, what they're relying on right now is Prawley jumping in there first, and he's built damage. There we go. He just finishes the Randuin's right now, so he has some survivability, but he was jumping in that Catalysm all by himself. Nick Wu, like I said, the Rumble ultimate changed a little bit, so it's all damage over time now, instead of having a lot of it be that upfront damage, and it just wasn't enough to take down any of the members of MRN. Now that they have Baron buff, they'll be able to shove on this turret pretty easily.
And as we said before, you know, we can't deny it. Jarvan can help initiate for this team. The Rupture can help initiate, but they found themselves now with that having to chase Jarvan, with having to chase Prawley and get into his Cataclysm, and it's almost been a pain for compLexity that they have been so good because the team can't get to who he Cataclysms.
It's really tough because they don't have very much damage coming down. Mega Zero always stops a lot of the damage. He keeps on hooking Mega Zero. Mega Zero is able to completely just shut down Brunch. Malphite is a great anti-carry. He gets right onto him, deals a ridiculous amount of damage, and is able to slow the attack speed. Even if Brunch is able to get away for a little bit, he won't be able to continually put out that auto attack damage that has made Caitlyn such a threat from the back line.
So Black Cleaver finished on Echo with that Bloodthirster as well. It looks like they're going for a little bit of HP for Niantanso. He feels like he has the damage he wants, really doesn't build any other attack speed. Well, he has the attack speed and crit, I was going to say, on top of that. So he's really relying on the Silver Bolt's damage and just being late game Vayne here. Yeah,
they did hit Ground Slam a little bit, but it still reduces the attack speed by 50% for 3 seconds. So that's huge.
Absolutely. It's something people forget a lot about abilities in the first place, that some reduce attack speed. And it is something that will completely crush you in a fight. 2-1 up top for Mega Zero to the 0, 3, and 4 there. Good rupture, kind of thwarts MRN from any real aggression as they come up to this turret. compLexity does have a good bit of siege clear. It's not perfect, but they are able to thwart off any pressure.
And since Niantanso is on Vayne, his attack range fairly short. It's kind of hard for them to actually siege turrets and get those continuous hits on them. What Niantanso will do is get one hit on the turret and then tumble backwards immediately so that he does not get caught out.
That's tricky.
It takes a lot longer that way because he has to get single hits every once in a while.
So we head over, see where Niantanso sits on that Baron buff, and actually about to wear off. He's got about 10 seconds on it, so Baron come up with around 3 minutes here. We see compLexity roaming together, and MRN here at 33 minutes has finally taken the gold lead, about $1 grand in their favor. compLexity, they're like, who wants it? Who's going to take it? They actually don't even know right now, which may show a little bit of confusion in the team.
Yeah, they started out so well, executing their early game plan, baiting with that blue, the double Fortitude Elixir bottom, but it's a Caitlyn lane. Caitlyn lanes are supposed to win.
Exactly.
Early. So they really have to continue that into the mid game. And now, MRN have pulled ahead in gold. They have 3 gigantic threats on their team. Mega Zero is even a threat in and of himself. He's got plenty of Magic Pen, which works well with his Sunfire Cape as well. And he's just constantly slowing people and continually putting out all that magic damage.
And Niantanso actually going for safety for himself as well, building a Randuin.
Yeah, last time when Double F was complaining about the Randuins, I was like, why don't you build one yourself?
Build one yourself.
Looks like Niantanso taking that to heart.
And it really is. You know, teams are considering that. We'll have to see what they do on the Dragon now. Baron, like I said, it's about 2.5 minutes off, or 2 minutes off. I was close. But they're going to go ahead and try for the Dragon here.
So
Not
more
too much.
Free global gold for them.
Right,
They'll gladly take that. They haven't had the gold lead in so long. They're like, yes, now we feel strong. We also have the kill lead. So they're going to shove right up this middle. Both of their side lanes are actually pushing right now. So I don't think, yeah, see, they're sending Lulu off to the side just to put up a few wards over here. He's going to clear out around Baron because of that 1 minute and 30 seconds, like you said, we're waiting on. They're just prepping the next global objective. They don't want to shove in that mid lane. They want to clear out all the minion waves that are shoving on this top.
Looks like we almost have that Rabadon's finished. The needlessly large rod just into the hands of Claky D, so there'll be a spike of power when he gets that. And this game is getting to that phase where it's going to need to happen soon, because the next fight is definitely going to mean some inhibitor turrets if the team can come out with enough HP. And it looks like compLexity has the HP to do something just like that. Caitlyn on the backside doing what she does best, pushing down those turrets. Mega Zero coming in. He doesn't have much to unstoppable force right now. Loudamortis really just putting himself in a shield spot for the team here. He might go down.
Yeah, Mega Zero's 100% looking for Brunch U to ultimate. He doesn't want to ult anyone else. He does get Loudamortis though.
Yep, he hits up Loudy. There's the shot from Niantanso, picking himself up into the kill. Probably jumps into the team. He actually gets blasted back there by the Condemn, and he will be finished off. Another third, or another bolt, I should say. There's the double kill coming in. Niantanso looking for another triple kill, his second one of the game now. He will not continue, but he does have the double buffs now.
So fed right now. Niantanso feels really strong. He's going to shove on this middle turret. There's 3 people down. They could go on the inhibitor turret very easily after this.
That Randuin synergizes with Vayne so well. Her passive, anybody attacking around her for its safety, and he used that in that fight to pretty much pick up that triple kill. 14 to 10 here is the inhibitor taking damage as well as Mega Zero trying to get himself out there. You're a rock, but you cannot take turret shots. Niantanso very low as well. If he had his equalizer, this would spell bad news. Can he get the flames for now? Why do you keep turning around? Apply the Rylus. One last shot. Brunch U takes out Claky. Double kill there. Ace in the hole is not up. It was just recently used.
Great job by Nick Wu, not letting them get out for free, and Brunch following that up, they were able to not only defend the inhibitor turret, but grab 2 kills of their own, and Baron is up right now. They could easily go for a desperate Baron.
Mega Zero just stepped on that trap, giving him complete vision to say, hey, we're nowhere near you for this Baron.
It looks like the only one that would even go over there right now would be Kha'Zix, and he's working on blue, so this could be a free Baron answer. Complexity right back in this game.
Oh my gosh, they are no contest. Like you said, Vayne down in the bottom. Maybe they're okay with this. They know they're low. It would really be a stretch for them to do anything, but they have to know they made a mistake to be in that position.
MRN did a good job clearing out the wards around Baron before the fight, but they didn't place back wards of their own. They needed fresh ones down. Complexity, good job answering right there. Like I said, Nick Wu and Brunch just got this game right back in their hands.
They will be backing. That Baron puts them at 54,000. Not actually in the lead right now. Still, MRN hold that at 57,000. They just ticked up to it there. 38 minutes into this one, a 14-12. These teams giving us a great last matchup here in Week 8 for the day.
We could get to the point where Niantanso actually maxes out on effectiveness. He's got 2,800 gold in his pocket right now, and only one more item slot left that he would really want to sell for. So as soon as he gets his last item, you've kind of really hit the ceiling here for MRN, where that's their main AD carry. Like, he's so far ahead right now with the 7 kills and the ridiculous CS. If they cap him out, then Complexity are going to just get stronger and stronger in relative strength. And they're going to have to start giving farm away from Niantanso and let other people pick that up, because everyone else really needs to catch up to his level.
It's a scary part when you get to that, part of the game where you're like, actually, we need to farm that over our AD carry. And we'll have to see how MRN really copes with that. At this point, Complexity is trying to clean up everything on their side of the map before showing pressure to, again, MRN's side. They don't have the wards really. They kind of have that ward holding hands down by the the wolf camp on the bottom left side. But other than that, both teams are pretty much blind right now.
Yeah, and we have to remember, Complexity still have not won a decisive team fight, and they're still behind in gold. So even though they have Baron buff right now, they're not going to be able to make much use of it. They're just trying to farm out and close the gap in that gold lead. Right now, MRN are just, okay, you guys, that was a good answer. Good play by you. We're going to wait out that Baron buff, and as soon as we can get another engage, if we Malphite ultimate on top of Brunch U again, we'll be happy to take it.
The thing's going down in the jungle. Mega Zero's ultimate is up. His teleport is down, however. He'll be waiting for that for about another 40 seconds. So this fight, if they win it, isn't going to give him an ability to push. I was trying to check top and bottom if he could get that teleport on and continue to pressure. But right now, they are answering whatever Complexity does. I want to see if they can start to dictate if Complexity makes a mistake here.
Another minute left on the Baron butt for Complexity. So they have time to get this turret. And their AD carry is Caitlyn. Plenty of range to siege up turrets. That's fine for them. They'll grab that global gold. They could even swing bottom right now. Bottom lane is actually shoving with minions.
We'll have to see if they do choose to go down. You saw how much harpoon damage just went onto Claky D. So Nick Wu is in fighting style now, right where they want to be. Like I said, this is that favorite part of the game for Mega Zero and Nick Wu. They are ready to fight, and it's exactly what they want to do from the first second. 5-5 in turret, so somebody is looking to gain ground here. Complexity not yet wasting this Baron, but still deciding how to use it. Looks like bottom turret's going to be the first objective.
So they do decide to take that pretty much free. That's going to be the last of their Baron buff given free objectives. And we see Niantanso's last pickup for his last item slot was that Frozen Mallet. So he's really built into a skirmisher. He's got 2 defensive HP items right there, and he can really get into the fray, use that 550 range pretty easily. He's also got stealth from his ultimate every time he tumbles, so he's not afraid to get in the mix of things right here. And it's just going to really be a very convoluted team fight when we see both of these teams emerging.
I gotta say, that 400 CS right now, Niantanso so big, and it puts a smile on my face to see when Vayne builds a Frozen Mallet. Because you usually don't see that, and you're like, wow, this is one of just the most synergizing items. I speed up when I see you, you slow down when I hit you. And it really, you just shake your head when you get hit with that first bullet, because you know you're done.
Yeah, nobody can get away from Niantanso right now except Prawley, because Prawley can do the flag toss and flash. The only way he's getting away is if he uses his summoner also. That he's able to keep Niantanso trapped inside that Cataclysm. That's the only thing that you can keep Niantanso down right now, is sticking him inside that Cataclysm and leaving him there.
So it has to really become up to Prolly as well with that Cataclysm, like we were saying before. It can really be used wrong at any time, but when it's this late in the game, a wrong Cataclysm can mean turrets and inhibitors. The fact that everybody's so strong right now. The Rabadons, like we said, that spike of damage now finished up for ComEntary on Evelynn. Coming out of the jungle this game as MRN starts to pull out all the stops as they're trying to beat this newly revamped lineup of compLexity with Prolly in mid.
They also have the teleport available on Mega Zero, so MRN have the upper hand. They could start shoving that bottom lane, shoving by itself right now, and if they wanted to send Mega somewhere else, then they could. They would just have to buy time for the engage because Mega Zero, he's their split pusher, but he's also their hard engage. They have to have him being the ones start off the team fights. They can't start off the team fight and have him teleport in a couple seconds later. That could be disastrous.
So quite back and forth here. Baron has gone down for compLexity. They got a turret and they were just in the mid of MRN. Now MRN in the mid of compLexity, pushing back after the Baron is worn off. compLexity up exactly 1,000 gold now in their favor as this game just wavers continuously back and forth. 42 minutes in, 14 to 12. The next fight could mean a lot. Could mean that inhibitor, could mean that Nexus turret. But look at the HPs, Kobe. Mega Zero is going to have to go down as well as Loud Immortus. And for that to happen, these fights are going to go on good 20 seconds.
Yeah, MRN are not interested in tower diving right now. They just want to shove it up and try and keep their map controlled. They've placed all the wards that they want to. They have plenty of vision inside the jungle of compLexity, and they've got that Oracle so they can continually clear out Baron and force compLexity to come out of their base and fight them on their terms.
We have Loud Immortus moving up in mid, and this is the part where you saw Loud Immortus versus Dignitas when he was on Cho'Gath. He was the one in front of turrets, tanking turrets. He was the one really getting his face in there to initiate for his team. Like we said, that initiation may not be there so strong for the late game. Prolly's Cataclysms are kind of throwing things off if he does them too right or too wrong. It's kind of hard for him right now, and Nick Wu needs to start with that equalizer. So you see the Unstoppable Forest being a huge advantage here for MRN.
MRN making a little run towards the middle here. They can shove in with this lane. They do have that siege minion, which helps out a lot. The changes to turrets in 3.5 though made it a little bit harder to take them down, because not only do we increase the damage that turrets do more damage on their first shot, they also do more damage increasing. Every time you attack a champion, it's going to increase by 25% now, whereas it used to only increase by 20%. And they reduce the effectiveness of those siege minions. They take less damage from turrets themselves, and they also do less damage to turrets.
We saw this verbatim versus Dignitas and Curtis, where Dig started to control the game, where Curtis went for Baron, but now they meet each other in mid. Deja vu. Mega Zero looking for that ulti. They don't have the damage on Loud Immortus like they did last time. He is completely waiting for that Unstoppable Force. Probably off to the side. If they realize this is a 4v5 quickly, it is going to go quite wrong for compLexity.
A wide open engage like that is what MRN is looking for. They have both Niantanso and Echo on champions that want to go in and then pull back out with their invisibility. Echo using his ultimate and Niantanso using his ultimate as well. They get small bursts of invisibility. They're just going to burn down this Baron so quickly, though. If Loud Immortus doesn't get in there quick, it's going to be gone.
Loud Immortus gets silenced. He gets condemned out. That Baron could go down. It does go to ComEntary, and the fight is going to go on. ComEntary quite low. He flashes out to get more damage on the back line. It's all into Niantanso. Echo will be the first one to drop there, probably picking up a kill. That blue buff is going to help these guys come out big. Mega Zero picking up one, now 2 for 1 as they are chasing out MRN from this fight. A huge play there for MRN to grab Baron and then have to be chased out. Flashes used, Summoners used, and compLexity has eyes on an inhibitor.
compLexity's front line finally all together. They were able to take down the 2 huge damage dealers from MRN. Both Echo and Niantanso, those invisibilities were not able to make use of their own. They are going to take this inhibitor turret, and they're going to follow it up with the inhibitor.
There's quite a few in their face. They don't have Brunch U for that damage, so all of them have to stay in melee range. This could get dangerous. No home guards really coming out, and 30s on the strongest in the death chamber of Echo and Niantanso. So yeah, they are safe.
Mega Zero was able to solo Brunch there using his ultimate, but there was no one to defend Niantanso and Echo, and they just got completely crushed. the 4 really bruiser champions here from compLexity actually getting chased out of the turret.
A little too aggressive there, and the turret is what MegaZero needed with his team to continue the fight here. There's going to be the toss. Oh, ComEnTary couldn't get onto it, but he hits off that W, tries to break the crowd control. Good swipe back by MIA, and the unstoppable force once again continues to brawl. Like I said, these fights are going on for 20+ seconds. They finally stop out. Good harpoons over the shoulder from Nick Wu.
compLexity bit off way more than they could chew. Should have went home after that middle inhibitor. They were trying to tank another turret and probably just got shown how squishy he really is.
Just one after the other. All of these teams thinking they can get that last little bit and then getting out by the skin of their teeth. So dangerous, and I see such dangerous play, I should say. 47 minutes in here. Looking, I think, to get our longest game of week 8 in, 17-4. Just about 70,000 gold in the pocket of both of these teams. And the person with the most gold in their backpack is going to be, right now, Untitled on Bane. He's going to be that queen carry. Looks like he has the composition to do it in his items.
He's so rich that he sold his frozen mallet and bought an Infinity Edge instead. He switched out one of his endgame items and purchased that Infinity Edge.
What else would you go for in that build? Would it be a boot sell?
At this point, I would sell the boots and get a Zephyr. Yeah. It's either that or you need a Guardian Angel. Guardian Angel, really, really strong at this point, because if he does get bursted down like that, then they need him to pop back up. He's got lifesteal. He could actually tumble away. If he's able to make use of that second life, if the rest of his team wasn't destroyed, then a Guardian Angel could be what they need to change the game. If it wasn't Guardian Angel, then it would be that selling boots and buying Zephyr instead.
We'll see what he does. Actually get some boots buy-in coming up. Distortion boots for MegaZero, trying to get those cooldowns for his flash and teleport up as soon as possible. Ryla's as well being built out for ComEnTary as they finish. These guys are getting really close, full end game items. We see the home guards coming out now, since it's going to be really that base save or the rush back to Baron that's going to turn the tide of this game.
Home guard boots really important for both teams right now, since most of the fighting will be very, very crucial. If someone dies, these are the long death timers. So as soon as you get back up, you need to get back into the action. And both teams right now really, really cautious. compLexity, they do have the advantage. They've got that middle inhibitor still down, so their lanes are going to passively be pushing, but MRN's still sitting on a couple of Baron buffs, which can change the entire fight. Now that everybody's got max items, the extra advantage is only going to be coming from elixirs and Baron buff.
And really, one of the first games, I mean, he's on Thresh this time, right? So you're not going to build the damage as you come out. But it's one of the first games we've seen a more passive, team-oriented build coming from MIA here. It seems like they are, using that in fights quite a bit. The box has gone down irregularly a few times, but really broke up that fight big time for them last time once he waited for MegaZero to use the ultimate. And I think that was the right choice.
Yeah, this Kindle gem that he's holding onto right now, I'm hoping that he turns that into the Starks and for that life leech aura, because to lock it at this late stage in the game, that shield will not mean anything in a team fight. That's so small. It's kind of nothing in a team fight. But the lifesteal that he would give to both Prawley and BrunchU could be huge.
The Bulwark actually being built by MegaZero here. 3-1 and 12, the top laner, given that role. So these guys are definitely bringing in the money. We see Loudamortis picking it up as usual on the jungler. And a lot of Randuins coming out as well. Like we said, everybody's at that full build. 461 CS right now for Untitled. Almost unstoppable, and we'll have to see if that's true in this next fight. He's gotten 2 triples. Can he bring out the penta?
Both teams a little indecisive at this point, and that's really forgivable at this point. A 50-minute game, it's not very easy to practice a 50-minute game, because most games don't go to 50 minutes like this so close. Like, you only get these chances every once in a while. It's not like you can go out and start up a fresh game. Oh, we're all going to port in level 18s here with full items and see what happens. They're going to go back to this bottom turret. They actually snuck around and they're going to get it.
This is big, Kobe. It's all about the now. Whether they were big plays earlier that turned the game and brought it to where it is, it doesn't matter. It matters about the next play. There could have been a penta in this game, and it may not have meant anything, because what we see next will decide who gets the base. Probably picking up some more resources in the jungle as they deny MRN But MRN really isn't pressured by this right now. We've seen them come back in these fights and win down in gold. They still sit up in gold right now, just 8-5 in turrets, so they don't have the pressure or the map presence to get out of their base right now.
What MRN need to do are spread out their threats. They have these 3 really strong threats. They've got Niantanso, Echo, and Flaky. So they want to have those at 3 different points in their team. The worst thing for MRN would be for all of them to, those 3 to be next to each other and get AoE silenced by Laudamortis, and AoE ruptured by Laudamortis, or Cataclysm by Probably, and just keep them all together. So they have to spread out during the team fight, and they have to use their mobility. All of those champions are very mobile. Evelyn's got her speed boost, and then Echo and Niantanso both have those invisibility tumbles that I was talking about. So they have to be able to use their positioning in the next team fight to spread out. Meanwhile, Mega Zero still needs to go with that target. He's got to get on Brunch, shut down his attack speed, and he can basically just solo him as we saw in the last time. That will be fine as long as the rest of the threats are spread out and the same thing doesn't happen to Team MRN.
I feel like this is going to be big, Kobe. 1 second until Baron spawns, and we haven't seen these teams trying to play Trick Baron. They're playing, we're doing Baron, and you can fight us while we do it. So this is going to be big. Cleared out Niantanso with an Oracle. He knows he's just trying to be safe in every step he takes on the Rift right now. Echo trying to put out some poke. They're trying to trade back. They grab, but will he go over? MI puts himself right into the fight, locking up Niantanso. The damage can't get to the rest of the fight, but he is slaughtering MIA right now. They're doing a good job at peeling, but where is the focus? Brunch U has already been taken down, which means no AD carry. Echo is the next focus here. compLexity is focusing well, but are they focusing the right amount of damage? Niantanso is still alive, and this could be bad. Nick Wu goes Sonya's, and he goes down. Niantanso picks up another kill, now 8-2-3 on the game.
Great job by MRN right there, I guess. Niantanso getting caught out meant that their threats were spread because he was on the complete other side of that fight. And so the box from MIA only affected Niantanso. Niantanso had both him and Nick Wu on him. So it was a 2 versus 1, and Niantanso did fine over there. He was able to survive it. He was able to take the CC, and the rest of the team, MRN, picked up the slack. Claky sacrificed his life. Him and Echo put out enough damage to take down Brunch, and they were able to follow it up, grab that. A 2 for 3 shows just how close this 53-minute game still is.
Absolutely. Like I said, they may have been down in gold. They were up by 1,000 that time, but MRN does have the positioning in these fights. You can see Echo, he actually has a smile on his face. He is just waiting to get back into this game right now, rubbing his hands together. These guys are antsy. They know they have what it takes to win these fights. No vision coming in. That flag toss is going to give them a bit, but it's going to be tough. Baron's at half. They do have Laudamortis on the outside. That flash smite feast, man.
That is a huge amount of damage. They have to be really, really scared of Laudamortis flashing in there. There goes down the flag. This is in the range.
Oh, the unstoppable force coming out. They're going to stop them and try to take out Laudamortis and probably before they can do anything. MIA from the backside. Does he have the box? He throws it around them, but it's not really hitting anybody but his team. Niantanso finally going down there. There's the shutdown to Probably. Very much needed that gold. MIA is going to try to get out as he is just kind of walking around, being a nuisance to MRN. And it looks like MRN may be able to clean up. Nick Wu, can he get the damage down? And he gets shredded by Mega and the team. A double kill coming in, an ace for MRN.
We were just talking about how home guard boots are essential at this point. Echo came in with those blazing at the end of that, able to finish off, completely turn that around. 4 members of MRN still up. They're going to go to end this game. 40-second death timer means you can still hear them yelling over there.
Echo on your screen screaming his face off. They are so happy. And it was a well-fought game by both teams. This was literally anybody's matchup to the last kills.
That was about 7 consecutive yells from Echo. Just outburst after outburst. He was so happy to arrive at that point in the team fight, able to finish it up, clean them off, and the rest of members of MRN all blinking red, barely surviving. Congratulations, a well-deserved win for Team MRN.